Ulonga tabati yada to ye kuma da ifa. Inu to ye ko je love bipa. Oba tala, oba takutakun. Zongo Eshu, Ogun Oya Osun. Kini ṣẹ̀ṣe tán ṣe nílé yìí o. Ó jẹ́ lọ jára rẹ̀.
Hola, Pia. Peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. I am your host, Orisha Bami. Shout out to my two guests today, Uncle Hank back in the building after making a splash last week. And shout out to the Orisha Stone back in the building, man, getting ready to make this thing happen and do what it do. Real quick before we get into it, man, I want to give a shout out to all the elders. I'm not elders, but I should say the freedom fighters. We lost two powerhouses since the last time we've done this, and I didn't get a chance to do something for them. I definitely want to do something for the Queen, Ashada Shakur. So that's new to her, as well as Baba Heru, who transitioned recently as well. I wanted to give a shout out to them, as well as the tribe, man. Appreciate the tribe for the love and support. Shout out to your tribe, Uncle Hank, for those who came over from your channel that was here last week that showed love, and was, engaged in the comments and going ham, man. It was a dope call. I'm talking about like the next day after that call, I got multiple calls, people just showing love and, gratitude, man, appreciating the insight and the information and your energy. It was like, man, Unc was, he was smooth with it, but he was a pleasure to listen to. So it was a dope show. And real quick, shout out to the tribe. I appreciate all of y'all. We'll be having a private community call tomorrow. I wanted to post that today. I ran behind with some other work I was doing, so I'll get in there tonight after we do this live stream. And then, as well as the ancestors, man, it's been a very prolific, I feel like, transactions going on. Not transactions, but prolific experiences with the ancestors over the past weekend. So I definitely feel like they're very present, and they are definitely making their presence known through nature, through spirit, and through us. So with that, I appreciate y'all fellas for joining us. I'm ready to get it cracking.
Yeah, appreciate being here. Thank you, Ifa Stone. I'm calling you Ifa Stone, and Orisha Stone. I don't know where he disappeared from, man. He just left the pilot seat, but I want to wait and make sure he hears. And I want to thank your audience, my audience, all the cousins, nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles, family spirit of Ubuntu. Again, I thank you, Orisha Stone, for part 2. Here we go. Last time it was colorful.
That's Tennessee.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So yeah, we're here now. So with that, before we tap into the crystals, the stones, the magnetism, and all the things that we went into last time, but we didn't. I don't feel like we covered it to give it enough just. So before we get into that, though, me and Stone was talking about some of the current events that have been taking place. Outside of the transitioning of the Queen, Assata Shakur, and Baba Heru. There's been a lot of things that we spoke about on about 2 or 3 podcasts ago that he was sharing with me that kind of been manifesting and taking place. So with that, I'm gonna open it up because I ain't gonna lie, I've been kind of like literally unplugged from everything, man. So it's just like I hear things and I'm getting things from family and friends, but I haven't really been up on all the latest developments that's happening around the globe as far as like the current events. So with that, Stone, you want to kind of share a little bit about what we were just talking about before I came on, before we got on air?
Yeah, most definitely. One, I mean, we're at war right now. Like there's no easy way to cut it. We're at a multifaceted war, from all sides, all directions. We're losing men, women, and children to this war. People are still playing because they think that if they ignore the war, they're not at war no more. So y'all gonna forgive me when I talk fast or be straight to the point, because you know what I'm saying. I know that there's a lot. They have our women on buses by themselves getting stabbed. They got our kids getting shot. It's a lot of stuff going on, and yet we still find time to hate each other and not come together. You see what I'm saying? So more than anything, that's the biggest thing I've noticed in today's news. We ain't came together yet. You know what I'm saying? We did Cold Obsidian 2 podcasts ago, Cold Black, Cold Obsidian, and everything we said right at that podcast manifested when you're speaking into this obsidian mirror.
Yeah.
So we gotta be careful about that, man. I really want to. I speak fast and I'm talking fast because I know the winter is coming, man. I keep saying that wintertime is coming. Wintertime is approaching. So that's the forecast right there. If you want to know what's going on in the news right now, wintertime is approaching. Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Facts. No, that's real, and it's funny because that was the one of the major messages for the Odu of the month, for those who are in the private community that, that's in the Patreon with the tribe, man, that Odu that came out last month was the Torah Ikai, and it spoke about a lot of the things that you just kind of summarized based upon, what's happening in real life. Like, it really went into that about not having, having enemies and having people who got on a mask, who pretending to do this and be this and not really being who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, pretty much just people just faking the fucking on the BS, right? And so we got a new one that I'm gonna drop in the tribe in the private community tonight, actually, to share with them, and then we'll go over that tomorrow. But it's a real thing, and stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. That's something that we always talk about anyway. So it's like if you think for one reason that we are at war, I think you got to really be either naive or just green. Like, you just really ain't trying to really be tuned into what's going on and what's been happening. Because as far as I know, I've been around 45 years, and I've been at war for all 45, actually 46, because the 9 months I was in gestation, my mom was in war. So you know what I mean, and that's what it is. But with that, enough of us. What do you got for the people, man? The people here to hear you and chop it up, man. And they definitely love the ashe that you brought, these ashe streets, man. So what you feel about these current events before we get into tonight's show's topic?
I want. Oh, can y'all hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was just adjusting. I want to thank you again, family. I just want to do my little acknowledgement and invocation. I want to thank your audience, and I always like to thank my audience for being conceived.
Ashe.
And then thank you for being born, because many of us can be conceived, but we're not guaranteed that 9-month ride, since this technology has given cross-eyed outcomes. And we're not going to go into that, but I want to say to everyone, thank you for being conceived. Thank you for being born. Whether you came in on a red carpet arrival or your landing into this dream reality was a crash and burn, remember not to hang out in the adolescent memories of our formative years, but to remember what your mission was in coming down into this dream reality. And being that we are energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can just be transmutated, elevated, accelerated, or slowed. So we are energy. So I always like to say to my audience, and sharing it with your audience tonight, family, with gratitude, we forgive all past lives. And we ask everybody in our past lives to forgive us. And most of all, we are worthy to forgive ourselves. And then when we peel our heel into the here and now and the infinite possibilities of future timelines, we say, yes, I'm forgiving everybody in my future dream time. And I ask everybody to forgive me, whichever timeline becomes reality. And most of all, I forgive myself, because we are in the spirit of Ubuntu, greater than our memories. We are greater than our memories. And I say thanks and invite Melchizedek, Enoch, Elijah, Black Madonna, Mary Magdalene, Tahuti, Amenhotep, Imhotep, Ptahhotep, and all of our warriors, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We thank and invite White Buffalo Calf Woman, Geronimo, Chief Osceola, Chief Sitting Heart, Chief Crazy Hearts, Chief Sitting Bull. We thank and invite Dr. Sabi, Shroom Master, Dr. Kalindi Ayi. We thank and invite Dr. George Washington Carver, who would take shrooms to listen to the recipe whispers in the early morning hours. We thank and invite P.B. Randolph, South African Zulu shaman, Credo Mutwa. We thank and invite all the shaman warriors, medicine women, serve the rhythm of love supreme. And we say, Ashe, Mahalo, Donada, Wado, Amen, Amen. So let it be spoken, so let it be done.
Ashe. Listen, that's powerful. And real quick, because you invoke that spirit, because like I said, the ancestors been heavy, like really, really heavy. And so I think it was one day last week, I want to say like last Friday. I had to go and appease the mother. And when we do that, we do it late at night and in nature. And it was just amazing to me because right after I finished, I remember getting in the car to get ready to head back, and it was a beautiful black cat that was sitting there. And I'm like, man, if you talk about the power, right? So let's just take this thing into metaphysics and really turn up. So we had just lost the Queen of Sodom. Like I don't remember which day was last week, but it was like right before. And so I remember I'm going to appease the mothers, and right after that, I leave and I see a big, beautiful black cat just sitting on the sidewalk, like yeah. And I'm like, damn, she is actually a Black Panther, right? You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like, and then I'm thinking about bass. Like, so I'm like, wow, like look at the, you know what I'm saying, the presence. It was extremely powerful. And I'm gonna share this in the private community tomorrow. But then Saturday, I'm working for, appeasing the ancestors for somebody, and right after that, a big black racer snake starts climbing a tree, like right in front of me. I'm just like, yo, this is nuts. Butterflies flying by, dragonflies flying by. Like it was amazing, man. So like for real, the ancestors are present, because I look at, everything that is of creation is a product of the creator, the universal prime creator. But the ancestors were here before us, they still here with us, and they here, when we transition to go back to that realm, they still gonna be, so whether they in that realm and they come back to this way, either way it goes, we're never in the cycle of infinite loops. You know what I mean? So with that, tribe, don't ever forget, Unc said it best, we're all spiritual beings having a human experience.
Orisha Gabby.
Yes, sir.
Man, every time we come live, I see that I think it's harmony, balance.
Harmonious
They
balance.
always say, yeah, they always supporting and telling the people hit that like, do me a favor, out your inventory, you'll get them one of the free pieces.
Yep, I sure will.
Yeah. And also I see legacy in there supporting Legacy's a warrior, Oya. Like, and also I got to give a shout out to Brother Hank, because Brother Hank did bring a spirit in. He brought the spirit of wisdom. Right now, a lot of us in the spirit of war, a lot of us in the spirit of hatred, a lot of us in the spirit of confusion. There's a lot of spirits we can be in, but ain't nobody in no spirit of forgiveness and loving and all. That's why we be needing the elders, because he done seen it all, he done it all, and it's like at this point, shit, all he want to do is forgive and love and be at peace. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
appreciate you.
And you can't make it to peace without that. You can't make it to, like, I feel like you can't make it to elevation without forgiveness. Like, I learned that lesson at the darkest, hardest moment of my life. I learned that lesson, but I thank God for it, because I share it all the time. Anytime I'm in a divination and I see certain things with people who are holding on to, hurt and pain and trauma and all those things, I'm like, yo, you gotta forgive. You can't move forward. Like Erykah Badu said it best. You can't move forward being a bag lady or being a bag man. Bring that bullshit from the past into now. It's not going to serve you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Period. It's not. I know pain is hurtful. I know it's hard, but I've been through it. We all been through it. But I know one thing: when I learned how to forgive, like what Uncle was talking about, that was a universal lesson for me, because that was when I started my elevation and ascendance into another level and transforming into another being. It's like the snake shedding its skin. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that skin is the old baggage. You can't bring that if you want to elevate. Like, you just can't. It's not going to serve you. So that is, I mean, that's spirit do working through Uncle Hagen. I appreciate that, because it's a real thing. Both of y'all really, like, we do have to unify. We do have to get together. We have to forgive, and we gotta love each other.
Most definitely.
I think we gotta forgive Martin Luther King for misdirecting us into integration when we really just wanted equal separation. We got to forgive Martin Luther King, because before he got pushed into the afterlife, he realized he was misdirected.
Yep.
Civil rights era brought forth the government giving an offer to sisters to give up their husband for a paycheck. We got to forgive the sisters who chose the wrong pill. We got shadow work to do in our community. We got to forgive the multi-generational families of no men. We got to forgive the absent fathers.
Facts.
Sisters, you got to forgive your wombs. Brothers, you got to forgive your loins.
Facts.
We got to forgive our hearts. We got to forgive our ancestors who were too cross-eyed to know to smoke the incursions when they hit the shores. We got to forgive our ancestors for being either too delusional or too blinded by foreigners to allow them beyond the sands of the shore. We got to forgive our folks who dropped the ball. We got to forgive the reptilians in the earth, not all of them, some of them, that terrorized the African kings and queens to accept Europeans. We got to forgive the reptilians who terrorized the African kings and queens to accept Europeans. We got to forgive our past lives as crystal beings, as carbon-based beings. We got to forgive our previous incarnations that we were the diabolical, insidious evil that snowballed into present reality. Even if we have amnesia to our previous character incarnations, we have to forgive beyond our memory. That's closet work. That's shadow work we got to do.
Yeah.
We got to forgive ourselves for weaponizing victimhood instead of family collectivity. We have to forgive ourselves for weaponizing victimhood. We have to forgive ourselves for not thinking like chess players and being emotional ball barons. We got to forgive ourselves instead of being initiators that we are reactionary. We got to forgive ourselves that we went numb to the songs of Mother Earth, to the pulse of all forces of creation that whispers to us. We got to forgive our fathers, our grandfathers, our uncles, our aunties for numbing out on alcohol, wine, drugs. And we got to forgive whatever we did in the past incarnations that made us diabolical today. And I want to also acknowledge Octavia Butler as a high priestess goddess. We got to go past queens and we got to go past kings. We got to invoke in this time goddesses and gods, because the latest information, Orisha Stone family, the latest information they're dropping is that our chromosomes have messages that we are gods incarnate. And then we're finding chromosome messages saying worship, be a slave. Somebody's been hacking us, man. We've been hacked. So we got a devil on one shoulder and we got a goddess on the other, or God on the other. And we got to listen to our hearts. Brothers, we got to heal our hearts. Sisters, you got to heal your hearts and your womb, because you got two hearts. Get out of the mental tomb and get into that crystal womb. So we got to forgive, do the shadow work and forgive your secret shortcomings, because all of us have stuff we got to forgive. And remember, you greater than your memories. So forgive. Don't be a melanin rich grudge holder, because that's the nature of carbon. You can hold grudges like nobody else. We have to use melanin on the other side of its sword to have hyperdimensional, intergalactic, multi forgiveness.
I say. Oh,
appreciation. I was saying this. I only disagree with one thing enough. When he said we got to forgive those that want to be friends with the opposite side, with their you know what I'm saying? No, off of their heads, Coons got first.
I didn't hear that part.
No, I remember when he said the ones that wanted to be cool with the white folks are the oppressors, because they got a bunch of them. But it's funny also, OG, when you went into about the Y chromosome, because that's one of the questions I had for you about tapping into blood types. We always talk about certain food that we eat to the blood type. Do you know anything about certain stones? I'm getting a lot of people asking me what stones or what crystals are best for their blood type.
All right, if you want to go there, let's go there. I'm getting high. My ayahuasca is coming up and my shrooms is coming up.
Hey,
we have within our bodies, family, something called fascia, connective tissue. Fascia or connective tissue is liquid form of crystal. So before we can activate the crystals within us, we got to realize all the meat that we have eaten. And I'm only going to speak for myself. But when I would roll up on what used to be called Sumner Avenue and Halsey Street in Bed-Stuy, and I would get that turkey sandwich earlier in the day from the deli on the corner, I would see these knives. I would feel these waves of fear and these madness while I'm waiting at the light, waiting for the light to change. Like, why am I seeing all these, these knives flashing across? And then after a while, family, I started realizing, damn, every time I eat a turkey sandwich or eat that big golden fried thigh and chicken leg, I would see these apparitions. And then when I did shrooms one time, that's when they came and said, hey, the chickens, the turkeys, and the fish came and looked me in my face. Said, we your brothers. Why you eating us? We love you. And I ain't picked up a chicken wing since. But I can't say that's for everybody. But know that everything is crystal, the connective tissue, and all flesh is liquid crystal. That's what makes Qigong so powerful. Where you breathe deep and pack air into the connective tissue. I'm giving acknowledgement to a Chinese master named Grandmaster Alan Lee, who was teaching brothers in the 1970s how to make bricks explode and how to project their energy for miles or close up for healing and also combat. Once we know that we are already crystal, then we got to learn how to play chess and don't be an emotional rollerball, because we all, we love to feel without critical analysis, as Professor Leonard Jeffries says. Critical analysis to free the paralysis. You can't be emotional when you're in a dojo of the mind. You can't be emotional when you're in a martial arts dojo. Why is he hitting me? Have you seen boxers who get emotional in the boxing ring? It's already done. You already lost.
Yeah.
You already lost. So we go into trance states. A lot of us out here, a lot of us have previously, we were the slave masters, but now we reincarnated back in soul skins. And most times, not all the time, listen to this, Orisha Stone. The most radical individuals are either government informants, agents, or white people reincarnated as black, and they're like, how dare you put me in black skin? We gotta change this. So you gotta, your intuition gotta tell you.
That explains it all right there. That explains so much.
That's what happened to the Black Panther Party. The ones that want to say, let's go blow up downtown. Those were the federal agents.
They were.
Yeah. So that's called COINTELPRO. So in our community, we got agents in the same hue. Now, are they unhappy white soul in skins, like Octavia Butler says? Are they agents that's been planted to agitate? So that's why you got to have critical analysis and intuition. So wait a second, brother. Here, take some shrooms. Take some shrooms with me. Let's see what's really going on. And say, shrooms, could you reveal who this person truly is? Shrooms, can you show me who I was in my past life to make me such an activist? Am I an activist? Thank you. Thank you, Spirit, Mind, Character, Soul. Parable of the Sower. Octavia Butler. We got to find out. We got to find out. And we got to have circles. And I'm going to give an idea for all the family members. create a circle of truth by have everybody sit in a circle in the chairs and then turn their backs to the center of the circle, and then have a facilitator in a dark room put one person at a time in the center of the circle and say, peace, family. Give us the reading from your spirit. Now, the people in the circle can't see who's in the center except the facilitator. And they got their backs to them, but they can feel the vibrations. Now, imagine if y'all do that with shrooms, a small dose of shrooms. Say, oh, I see you snapping the whip, my sister or my brother. It means, then you got to forgive. There's the spirit of Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Because everything is frequency and vibration. That's called the circle of truth. That was taught to me by a brother who is now an ancestor called John Harris in New York City. Circle of truth. And he learned it from indigenous brothers and sisters on Turtle Island. Dark room. Circle. Backs to the fence towards the center. Facilitator takes one person in the circle at a time. So you can find out. Because truth is more bitter. Bitter truth versus a sweet lie. That's all I'm going to say.
Ashe. Yeah, listen. That's powerful. Like
he said so much. Like when he said about the skin suits and people being in the wrong bodies, that's why they acting out of character. I'm sitting looking at the news. I'm like, these folks out here trying to frame us. Why would you do this? And they might not. They look like us, but they ain't us.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But that also would explain. And let me just throw the disclaimer, because I remember one time we had a former guest on here that mentioned this particular, I guess, group of people. And then people, it wasn't really, I think it was one person that made a comment, but I had to kind of let them know, like, don't come in here with that foolishness, because we support and embrace everybody. But that definitely plays a major role into a lot of the things that's happening with the communities, the LGBT, community, because I recall learning from Dr. Blair, and he was saying, now, mind you, let me just not discredit the other stuff, because biological, chemical, war has a lot to do with that too. When you talk about what they're putting in the baby formula, what they're putting in the water, what they're putting in the air, what they put, you know what I mean? So let's just say that we're going to stay that there's definitely a war tactic going on with why we have so many, especially men, being emasculated into that culture. But on top of that, and I learned this from Dr. Blair, and this is what really shifted my paradigm in regards to my thought process and looking at and how to deal with not allowing myself to be prejudiced against people who are in that community, is that he spoke it from a metaphysical standpoint, that where we are in the world right now, the world is so effed up that there are freedom fighters, there are star seeds, there are crystal children, there's indigo children. There was a lot of different light beings who signed up to come to this planet to take this mission to help to try to transform the state of this planet. So they didn't care what kind of body they came in. Some spiritually, they might have been used to being a male, came in as a female. Some who used to be spiritually as a female came in as a male, because they were for the cause. So they came and took whatever body they could to get here to do the work spiritually. And the way he broke it down on a masterful level, I was like, wow, it made perfect sense to me, like as to how some of that takes place as well. But I say all that to say, when it comes to spirit, it's like you riding with the light and striving for righteousness and Iwa Kwele and balance character, or the laws of Ma'at, whichever way you want to put it, or you came here to ratchet ish up and you ain't got no intentions on doing what's right. And I've spoke to and dealt with a lot of people on both sides. The people who doing the BS that don't want no intentions on doing things right, I don't want nothing to do with you in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
I'm going to share with y'all about what happened right here in my house when I had like an open door policy for doing ayahuasca ceremonies. It was essentially a mixed crowd, brothers and sisters, various hues. And when the ayahuasca started revealing who was alien, our folks couldn't handle it. They weren't intellectually or spiritually mature enough to see that this particular individual was an alien. And instead of saying, oh, welcome to planet Earth, my brother or my sister, the scared Negroitis kicked in and they collected in the opposite room. And I asked, what y'all doing in here? yo, that other person over there, they're alien. Yo, I can see it. And the other folks in the room, well, I can see it too. They're not human. So what? Now, me, I didn't have the maturity to say, get your asses back in the room and welcome the alien to planet Earth. I didn't have the maturity. So, we are quick to have a knee-jerk reaction when something don't match our monkey mind conditioning.
Yeah.
Oh, you wearing blue. I don't like you. Oh, you wearing red. I'm gonna make you dead. That's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Mm.
Can you handle truth? In taking some shrooms and asking the shrooms to show you who your friends are that are human and which ones are aliens. Just because you think you are carbon-based life form, you're not exclusive to life. What if you see an alien? Are you mature enough to handle seeing a crystal-based life form with a human cloak?
Mm.
Can you handle somebody that you're getting ready to get busy with, and then their veil falls away and they're another extraterrestrial? Can you handle it? Or are you going to trip out and say, ah? Are you mature enough for what time it is right now on Prison Planet, Chicken Farm, what we call Earth?
Ooh.
Are you ready? Are you mature enough to say, I don't know what life form you are, my sister or brother, but I see that you're not from around the neighborhood. Welcome to our planet. And they will reply like, wow, there's hope for humanity. There's hope for humanity. Because there's a lot of extraterrestrials that got dreadlocks, afros, and kente cloth, priests or priestesses, but they're not human. And the ones who excel the most are extraterrestrials or intraterrestrials, and that's okay. What makes you such a water bug to think you exclusive to the bug of Brooklyn or wherever you're at? Well, if you ain't a water bug, I can't hang with you. We got to break out that mentality. You know what I'm saying? And that's some real talk. I'm backing up.
No, listen, I'm like, well, pulling back all the layers. Look, I always felt like I was extraterrestrial. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I never felt like this was really my home. Actually, Andre 3000 spoke for me because Outcast, like, they've been talking the extraterrestrial thing for a long days ago. But no, that's real, man. Like for real. Like for real.
I'm just going deep with it. Uncle Hank.
Yo, this is real talk, man.
I know.
I dare you. I dare family on all three platforms. I dare you to say to some mushrooms or some ayahuasca, grandma or grandpa shrooms, show me if they're human or ET, and then take the shrooms. But when the truth comes down the pipeline, don't bitch up. Handle it. And say, welcome. Oh, and they may reply, well, now that you can see me, I am from the inner waters of star system Sirius A or Sirius B or Palladian or Andromeda galaxy. Are you really ready for 2025?
I don't think they
You are on Deep Space Nine, walking blind. We got ETs up to Gazoo hanging out nearby you.
Oh, yeah. A couple of them probably on the doggone podcast right now. No.
So I say to them,
you hear what he said at first. You didn't hear what he said at the beginning. He said at the beginning, some of them is your baby mama. Some of them might be your best friend. Like that when we're going back to the blood types. We're not paying attention to the blood types and how important blood types are. You see what I'm saying? Like there's so many different beings out here, so many different things being crossed up. Why do you think back in the day when you got married, they made y'all test y'all blood types first? If we all human, if we all the same, right? Like it's certain beings that are not the same entity at all. We're better be 9 ethers, 6 ethers, O negatives, ABs. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I was asking about that, and he went straight into it without going into it. But yo, Uncle Hank, Another one, you keep speaking on forgiveness and things of that nature, right? What's your favorite stone to tap into for forgiveness?
Man, okay, the first one to pop in is you got to put your intention in whatever stone it is. Whatever, it just ain't gonna say, it's not gonna just lock in on active mode. You gotta put your intention into the stone and ask, can you help me with forgiveness? When was the last time, brothers, you took your time and went down to a sister's womb and said, hey womb, how you doing? Talk to me, how you feeling? All right. Well, sisters, when's the last time you went and talked to a brother's heart chakra or his heart and just did a chant and said, you may have been, it may have had highs, you may have had lows, but sisters, when are you going to ask a brother's heart? Meditate on his heart. And then with the spirit of Ho'oponopono, say, I'm sorry you went through these things. Ho'oponopono is our African Hawaiian spiritual system called Kahuna. Ho'oponopono was brought forth. Yo.
My apologies. I don't want to interrupt, but shout out. I was literally just about to text him right now on the comment. Shout out to the brother Yusef. I started his comment because he spoke about that a while ago. I didn't want to interrupt because you was in the zone, but I'm gonna bring his comment up because he spoke to that. Can you continue to go where you're going? But I just wanted to bring his question up because he asked about that a while ago when you was already in the zone. So
so we're gonna rock with that.
Yes, sir.
Ho'oponopono was brought by a kahuna by the name of Dr. Hugh Len, HEW space LEN. And the Hawaiian system of Ho'oponopono means that everything you experience in this life is a projection from the depths of your being. So whether it's good or not so good, you want to clear the canvas of your own shadows by saying, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Because we really don't see people. We experience triggers. We looking and trying to see through a limited light spectrum into reality. So everybody you run into is a projection, a variation, a frequency of your own unresolved shadows. We here on the planet to dissolve our shadows. There's no enemy but what's inside of us. There is no enemy. That's the illusion. That's the virus of colonialism. The virus that hacked our equilibrium is thinking everything is external. So in the Hawaiian system, they say everything is a dream from our inside, from whether it's this life or another. It's shadow work. So you say, brothers, you say to a woman's heart and to her womb and to her stargate, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Into the brother's crown. What did he experience or what did she experience while being in the water bubble of their mama? What did mama feel? And then what would it be like if we said, we ain't worried about no government and crackers and occupational. What if we said to our bloodlines, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Everything is inside.
I sure.
Sure.
That's powerful. And shout out to the tribe, man, because we did a call like a month or so ago. We was talking about the Ori and Ori prayers and offerings, but I was sharing, some of the people who weren't able to get access to all of the tools that traditionally are used for this particular prayer. Excuse me, I'm like, yo, use water because water is a very significant part of the prayer because we don't start anything. We don't do anything and in my tradition, and most traditions I know of, without water, without starting with the water first. So if you don't have a womb man, say if you're a single brother, you don't have a womb man, go to a lake, go to a river, go to the, and then do exactly as Uncle Hank said, and do it to the womb of the planet. Do it to the mother of waters. Because trust me when I tell you, there is no more powerful force on this planet than the waters.
Let me
So
tag team with you, OG. Let me tag team with you. Do it at 3 a.m. When you say go to the water, do it at 3 a.m. Man, listen, she gonna talk back. She gonna talk back to you. She gonna look, they gonna pop out on you.
man, listen. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I gotta share something that happened to me just recently. I was sitting out on the Parkway in Brooklyn, and just sitting there chilling. And this individual came up to me drunk. They were drunk. They didn't have a drink. They were drunk.
Mm.
And they sat down and wanted to have a conversation. And you know, sometimes we gotta be patient with our family, with our people, because often alcohol is a band-aid from a wounded heart or soul. Or it might be that my ancestry who was abusing alcohol is coming up from my shadow work. So I didn't diss the individual. You know, I gave some assistance because I'm saying, whoa, I think this is coming from inside of me, but it's looking like reality. So that's where I really, in this life, man, we got to learn not to judge.
I say,
You know,
oh man,
Yeah.
say,
because we all got stories. We all got stories. And then the most beautiful thing we can do for a brother or sister is let them talk without interrupting.
Mm.
And let your intuition give you the insight. Sometimes they just want you to pray for them. That's why people give you, hey, you know what I thought of? They're really saying, can you say a prayer for me? Can you give me a blessing? Hey, I got this idea. I want to start this business. And you have to say from your heart, it's already yours. You can do it. Say you're worthy. Yes, I am. I'm worthy. Because we're in a bucket of soup of heartbroken souls, wounded souls. We're in a gumbo of heartbreak and wounded souls. So in that gumbo, imagine if we sang, I'm sorry, please forgive me, while wearing Orisha Stone's purple, while wearing in our mind purple, please forgive me. When are we going to forgive our brothers over there in Africa that sold our great 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 grandmothers or great great grandfathers to some Europeans? We got a lot of forgiving to do. I haven't heard it, but right now I'm kind of like in the zone. I'm in the zone, and nobody's getting off the planet alive. And karma is gravity of the soul. Karma. I owe. So back to earth I go until the cycle is made right. I ain't gonna be the light. I owe. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Brothers and sisters, sisters and brothers. And sometimes the most radical sisters are really the souls of brothers that did the wrong thing. Or vice versa. Sisters say, oh, I'm going to get you, even if it's in the next life. Like Erica Badu said, in the next life. So a brother's soul comes back, a sister's soul come back, and they switch up. Yo, it's unlimited possibilities out here. Now, what if in the ancient of times, we did some other life forms wrong, crystal-based life form, reptilian-based life form, and then we have to come back and have the script flipped on us to be karmically balanced. But the balance has happened because we got a Christ born in the Congo that invoked an Afro-wearing army of black angels named Simeon Toko, where the Europeans tried to take him out over 20 times and he would reassemble. That means our karma is paid up. Check Amadou Bamba out of Senegal. He would fly through the air. Giant bond fireproof, bulletproof, walked on water. We don't hear about these ascended masters that recently just left the planet, but Simeon Toko prepared the way for Ibrahim Touré. Cheikh Amadou Bamba prepared the way for Ibrahim Touré. And Simeon Toko said, I'm coming back with an army, and there's nothing you can do about it. With carbon black. Look up Simeon Toko. He looks like an Olmec head without the helmet.
Yeah,
and he said he's coming back. He's coming back. Orisha Stone looks like Olmec head without his hat on. Look at it. Yo, do a visual on your face. Look like my nephew. Man. I'll keep saying it. Yo, this is real talk, man. He said he's coming. Simeon Toko said he's coming with an army, and there's nothing they can do about it. Bulletproof, can fly through the air. They took him into a jet, Simeon Toko, to take him out over the water, to throw him out the jet. He said, stop. The wind stopped, the plane engine stopped, and it was suspended in the air. And the Roman Catholic priest got on his knees along with the air crewmen, and they begged for their lives. This is where we are. Our chromosomes say, ye are gods. We're gods and goddesses, and it's God and goddess time. And we got to do our invocations for the whole planet, because there's some cross-eyed, misdirected, crazy folks out here that want to really push the button for World War III. That popped in my head. I was like, oh, shoot, we got to pray. Yo, priests and priestesses, family, friends, and loved ones, pray for the planet, because the knuckleheads are trying to have World War III. They would rather the planet be in a convoluted mess instead of the progress that's happening with DNA elevation, activation, so-called junk DNA is God DNA, awakening, because this planet, along with the solar system, is going through a sector of space that activates you, me, collectively us, into supernatural beings. That's where we're at. And then take a hold of a crystal. You know what that's going to be like? Everybody Kundalini activated. And then Orisha Stone said, get yourself a crystal, family. Now what? Are we going to be a Kundalini angry? Or are we going to be Kundalini healing? Because if you don't have your stuff balanced out, ready or not, activation is happening now.
I see.
Shout out to the Fugees and Laura Hill. Ready or not, here we come. You can't hide. We gonna find you. Because listen, that everything you talking about, I feel like those were the spirits that communicated with me when that spoken word piece that we left off on I Am came about. That was, you know what I mean? Like that. So
that was hard too.
I appreciate you, but you can't tell me. Nobody can tell me like who I hear, who I see, and who I feel. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore, that's why I never really been scared of anything, because I know where I come from. So when you truly know when you come from, ain't nothing to worry about. The most you can do is try to eliminate this bodysuit, but trust and believe. Please let me do my work in this suit. I've said it many times. I'd rather do it in the suit, because throw me out the suit, we talking about a whole nother.
And you know what's real deep. And then we get to the crystals, Orisha Stone. But I gotta say this.
No, I'm with you. You just said something that really stuck to my mind, and I'm really internalizing it. One, about the emotions, and I saw some of the comments say something about it. And when you look at all the artifacts, you never see a smile on the Olmec heads. Maybe one, you'll see a smile on the face. You don't see emotion on when you go to West Africa and you see those them statues and everything. You don't see emotion. When you go to ancient Kemet, you don't see emotion on their face. Emotions. When you look at the Vulcans, they don't have emotions. They straight logic, and we got out of that. You know what I'm saying? And we're so emotional and so sporadic and so everywhere. Like you said, they got us mixed up. We got to figure that out. That's what you said about spiritual maturity. I have a couple shows talking about emotional intelligence and everything else, but spiritual maturity is a real thing, and that's something that needs to be studied. So I'm just tapping into that. Whenever y'all keep going though.
I used to be real color critical in my formative years. After going to a school with a bunch of racists, I didn't realize they were low-class Irish and low-class Italians. So I had this resentment until I took ayahuasca. And then ayahuasca showed me you have to look at the color frequency, what their aura is, and not the reflection of the skin. I was like, oh, wow. Because we are using less than, I think it's 1 to 3% of the light spectrum. We can't see. We blinded, but why what we project through our eyes. If we were to disconnect all our senses from our brain, we would be in isolation and darkness. Everything we're using is limited function. Eyes, smell, taste, hearing, touch. It's limited, but our intuition is smarter than AI. Intuitively, we can have quantum intelligence because our left brain, analytical side of our brain, can only handle 24 frames of information per second. Computers can do millions of bits of information per second. Our only ace card as brothers and sisters, as gods and goddesses, is to use our intuitive heart intelligence, which I like to call QI. That's quantum intelligence, because AI is running circles around our left brain analytical intelligence. We got to upgrade, or are we going to be slaves to robots that's coming around the corner with a turkey sandwich near you?
I see. Listen, go ahead, Stone, because I know you got something to say. Go ahead. You go first.
No, man. You know I'm the master student. That's why I really wanted Uncle Hank to be on, because I know he touched shows and everything else. I'm coming science, warcraft, everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing Department of Defense work. But what he's saying has to be recognized too. Like, everybody can be the hothead and be like, yo, we're doing it like this. But he said we're playing chess, not checkers. Let's step into that. So when we're talking about the DNA, we talking about DNA activation. DNA is blood. You know what I'm saying? We're not acknowledging blood, going back to the blood types and all these different things. So a couple stones that I was going to speak on was stones that activate your DNA. Petrified wood, hematite, carnelian, ruby, bloodstone. Are you Uncle Hank? Are you familiar with? It's a blood type called RH null blood type.
Those are the ones they know about. What about the extraterrestrials looking like us?
That's why I said RH null is a weird one.
We avoid the hospital and blood analysis. That is called in military, or in military it's called or the government, they call it white operations, and then they got something that they don't let people know about called black ops. You're talking about what's known. What about the blood types that's unknown?
Yeah.
Only thing we can go on is intuition.
Yeah.
You can go your intuitive smell. When was the last time we took the time to intuitively smell in our surroundings? And you know what? I'm gonna share with you, Aoife Stone and Orisha Stone and family. I didn't put this xenon on my cat. He got it on his neck, right? But I'm starting to realize maybe xenon activates junk DNA because my cat looked like he's in Buddha zone all day. He's eating less. He's communicating telepathically more. And I'm saying, oh, shoot. What have I done to my putty cat? So I don't, the more I know, the less I know. The more we know, the less we know. And Nina, don't be like a prejudiced person in the liberation of our folks back in the 1800s. She says the robots need to upgrade to keep up with us. They will never keep up with. You have to keep up with your heart. You have to keep up, Nina, with your womb, the whisper of your womb. We have to keep up with the whisper of our ancestors guiding us down the street and knowing what not to eat or what to eat. Us vegetarians in the audience, if you notice, vegetarians, Aoife Stone, Orisha Stone, they look, sometimes they borderline looking decrepit. And the reason is they haven't included mushrooms in their diet. And I'm not talking about shrooms. I'm not talking about psychedelics. I'm talking about lion's mane, turkey tail, oyster mushrooms. We got to do mushrooms to literally fortify us. Because if you just a carrot eating, celery sucking vegetarian, that's not the way a vegan is. You're supposed to be eating the wood, the shrooms off of the trees, and that's in the Bible. We got to do the shroom. I'm not the shrooms. We got to do. I'm talking about specifically the wild edible mushrooms. We got to know which ones to eat.
All mushrooms.
You got if you don't eat the right ones, we'll see you in the next life. But you got to know.
But those ones you don't eat turn out to be medicine. When you look at reishi mushroom, you may not eat too much of that. You know what I'm saying? But it also cures cancer. You see how the shrooms are medicine all the way around. You're absolutely right about that. If people ate shrooms, you're healing your body. You can substitute your meats out for mushroom burgers or things, portobello mushrooms and stuff like that. You just got to have someone that knows how to cook them.
Man, I eat. Listen, them oyster mushrooms is the ish, man. Like I eat them, I make them like chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, them things, man. Listen, them things. Look, man, I got family members.
Them oyster mushrooms.
Never eat a mushroom ever, and I mess around and cooked up. I whipped up some of them got doggone oyster mushrooms and had them things looking like some chicken, like some fried apple. Man, they tore them doggone mushrooms up, man. Talking about that.
People don't even realize
flavor and season it, man. Like that's the only thing.
And the future wise, like economy, I'm always talking about economy, but economic wise, mushrooms is the future. You see what I'm saying? Investing in mushroom farms. That's the way we're going to be eating soon. Especially if it's good to go ahead and start weaning yourself off of meat. So, yeah, you're exactly on board. Okay, with everything I keep talking about the bloodlines, all that is important. What you eat, how you eat, eat. Yeah, moringa, yes sir. Cleanse your blood.
I got a formula for the family. I just discovered. All praise to intuition. Take 4 or 5 moringa once a day. With this brother's formula called Y Power. Did I share this with you last week?
You did talk to me about the Y Power.
The brother that we was on the call with last week.
Shout out to that brother Y Power. Big shout out to Y Power.
Powder too. I ain't know you. Y'all ain't listen.
Yo, this.
I'm bringing to the show. He's a doctor.
Huh?
Yo,
he's a doctor.
But we didn't get into that. Y'all, we were just talking about. Oh, never mind. Go ahead. We'll talk about.
Listen, this is edible orgone, and the website. Look. Let me show you the website. It's called Y Power Supplement. Let me make sure I get it. ypowersupplement.com. I'm gonna type it in. Let me type it in. ypowersupplement.com. You got to get into this and read the testimonies. Before you take something, go to the testimonies. Here it is.
I got to order mine, man. Because listen, matter of fact, we could talk about this off air tomorrow because we got to set that one up to bring him on too, man. Because that was a powerful conversation. Like
mastermind. We went to talking, And I could tell he was trying me, so it was like we just went to talking, but it was an amazing conversation. We started talking about straight science.
Yo,
Well, I mean,
yeah, that's who
we had. The introduction call alone, like I said, it don't take me much to figure out where I can go with somebody. You already
No,
know because you did it multiple times. So it's like when
big shout out to White Power. Big shout out to White Power.
Yo, so family, do this. Eat 4 or 5 of the moringa. Now don't eat the. I've had some crazy brothers and sisters that try to eat the husk off the moringa. I mean, they just took the whole thing and just ate the whole afro off the moringa. Just ate the whole thing. No, don't do it like that. I call this the moringa afro. You know, shout out to all the sisters who like to wear blonde hair. This is where you got the idea from, the moringa seed, right? You see the brown moringa with the blonde hair? This is where the sisters got the idea from. So, that crack it.
Oh, wow.
Now, inside that brown moringa seed, inside the brown moringa is this white seed. You know, you eat it like this, and you eat about 4 of them, 4 or 5 of them. And then you open up. And this is what the Y power looks like. It's edible orgone. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm gonna say it because the brother don't like to say it, but he told me he slipped up and messed around and told me how he got the recipe. He said a flying saucer sent a blue beam into his forehead one morning years ago, and he got the recipe. But when you have him on the show, he ain't gonna talk about that much. But I'm gonna tell y'all right now, this is an ET formula right here. Okay? And those who have the senses to feel the energy, put your hand up to the screen and feel the buzz. But eat the Y power with or without water. So you take something like this. And then just roll it around your mouth and eat it. The combination has a smooth energy. That's all I can say. The combination, and I told him, and he Orisha Stone, he said, I have to check that. You know how he talks. This is brother's a genius. But moringa seeds and look at the geometry. It's crystal shaped. Look at the logo. There you got it. That's the start of the crystal info.
Going down. It's about to go down.
Or for us brothers, it's about to go up.
About to go up. I say.
Listen, I got to get back to like creating shorts and posting shorts because I posted short of what Aunt was just dropping. But I can't. I would not do it right if I didn't have that mic. If I ain't had an MJ bumping under there, smooth criminal. Because he a smooth criminal right now. Look, the way this is what I do. I like to let the Ori and the mind speak sometimes. Everything you saying, I don't know why, but I hear what you're saying, but I can see that Michael, I think it was Smooth Criminal, but whichever video he was in when he had the white suit on, when he was walking, and the floor would light up every time he stepped on it.
Ooh, I remember that. That was cool.
In my mind, the way you dropping them jewels up, I'm like, yo, went in the Mike Smooth Criminal mode, but I'm like, he just stepping and everything lighting up. You lighting some ish up out here, like for like MJ, like for real, like Smooth Criminal.
Speaking of which, yo, shout out to Uncle Hank too, because he did a beautiful video. I believe didn't you just do a video on the Solid Score?
Video on what?
That video was made by a brother named Mo, who's a digital artist.
We gotta give Mo a shout out because that video was amazing.
Yeah, brother Mo is like he is a creative digital artist and family. There's new careers coming forth. We're on the cutting edge of AI music, AI movie making, AI video making. Don't be scared. Jump on it. We are at the beginning. and we're just at the beginning. And you want your children to tap into this instead of us being colonialized cash cows. We have the opportunity right now to be innovative and learn the same way everybody else is learning, because nothing's written in stone yet. It's evolving so fast. So especially Brother Mo out of right now I think he's in Atlanta, and he's helping
Tell
out.
him appreciation.
Helping out.
Thank you for the video.
Yeah, he's helping out Red Pill. He's helping out. I think he's networking with Brother Rich. But right now where we are, however long, how many seasons you've been here, you can still learn AI. You could learn it. I had one sister, man. One sister got stuck. She didn't mess around and came to me with fake hair, fake nails, and said, "I don't like AI." And I said, "You are AI."
Oh.
Sisters, if you wearing extensions, that's AI. If you wearing eyelashes and nails, that's AI. So be like Bruce Lee and be like water and adapt and get on the next ride, because everything's going AI. You bring your QI, your quantum intelligence, to manipulate and navigate AI, because your heart is smarter than your head, and our hearts are smarter than AI. And if you can't handle it, then you take a little bit of mushroom, like that little comment right there. Take some shrooms and X shrooms. Show me how to master AI.
Yeah. And you know what? And real quick, shout out to Professor Kaba, man. I had a quick brief conversation with him earlier before we got on. We're gonna try to put something together. But he was the first person I ever heard that said it this way. He calls it ancestral intelligence. So I prefer to go with that route, because if we look at it as ancestral intelligence, that's an AI that I feel like it's an asset for us. Whereas the artificial intelligence, yeah, it got benefits, but I feel like it's more of a liability, because it makes us. I feel like it makes us redundant and reluctant on, what I'm saying, being able to tap into that intuition you were speaking about earlier, being able to tap into source, being able to tap into what's natural, what's ancestral, what's, what I'm saying, like activational, something that can be activated, like you were saying earlier about how with the I forgot what the name of it was, but you put it on your cat's neck. What did you say? What is it called again?
That's the gas, the noble gas called xenon.
There you go.
Yo, I'm messing with that myself. I'm messing with that. I'm like, what in the world? Yo, man, I'm still, look, this is it right here. Yes, this is xenon in a stick form. You notice that bluish white hue? That's the color of xenon. This is, family, look at this close. I put a auto xenon light bulb inside of resin, and these are certain magnet arrangements and some crystals, Orisha stone. I got some crystals in here to amplify the xenon. Okay. And then I have it on, family. Any of you who create jewelry or Orisha stone or any of the crystal keepers, don't use cotton. Use spider web technology, and that's called Kevlar. Kevlar wrapped as a cord allows the crystal magnetic energy of any crystal, Orisha stone, Ifa stone family, the energy can travel through the cord around your neck. Okay? Kevlar. That's the same material they make bulletproof vests. Okay? It makes the best crystal cord because the crystal energy travels through the Kevlar better than polyester, better than cotton. And this is 500-pound test. That's why Spider-Man could do all that crazy stuff they show you in the tunes. This is 500-pound test. You can buy it on Amazon. And then you can get smaller ones for waist speeds. But that's what I'm experimenting. And I'm talking about him. And here he comes. Come here, Tiger. He's coming here for me to show him. Here he is. Look, he got on his xenon. Show him your xenon, buddy. Look. See the xenon? He looking right at the screen too.
Listen, he looking like, man, look, Pops, I don't want to be bothered. I don't know these people. I don't want to be hanging up with them. I want to get out of here.
They why they don't talk. They don't want to
But
pay
I like
rent.
his energy though. Like his energy is real, boy. It's funky. He was like, yeah, I appreciate it, but I don't really know these folks. Like that's dope. Listen, I'm gonna be real too, man. Like for real. Like this call right here. If we were those types of people that like want to monetize and like capitalize off of our people, this call, you can't put a price on this call. You cannot put a price on this call because what you shared in the first hour and 10 minutes and 12, 13 seconds is worth. There really ain't a price. There's not a price for this. So it's like what life is and what our experience is and what we value is based upon, I feel like, our experiences that we've had before or during or after we kind of hit that awakening stage. But like this right here is like this is powerful. The first one was powerful within its own right, but this one is just different, man, because there's so many jewels and priceless pieces of wisdom, of understanding, overstanding, and understanding being shared. It's being shared out of the love, the love of serving the people, man. So I appreciate you, like for real.
Family. Appreciate you too, Ifa Stone. I appreciate you, Orisha Stone. I appreciate all the gods and goddesses. Your gods and goddesses, okay? Uncle Hanky said no more kings and queens. Uncle Hanky said gods and goddesses. Your gods and goddesses, you've been promoted. Okay? You've been promoted in the year of 2025, which adds to a 9. No more queens, no more kings. Gods and goddesses is the swing. All right? Make it rhyme. Put it on sumo.
The thing, if you ain't got that swing, boy, you know what it is. Yes, sir. And shout out to Cass. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Yes.
Oh, and so listen. This is where those who want to experiment, sisters, if you want to see what your bra what could happen to your chest, sisters, put some xenon bulbs in your bra and wear them, while you're wearing your bra. Brothers, you can make a hat and just tie the bulbs or tape the bulbs to a kufi and notice what happens. Just experiment, explore, but there's benefits and it's still cheap. You can use bulbs, cheap bulbs. You can get them on Amazon for like 10, 20 bucks. Get a few of them. Take a bunch of the bulbs, put them inside a mesh bag, and then when your tub is empty, put it in your tub and run the hot water over it. Run the hot water, the bath water, and let the bulb soak in the tub so your water becomes xenon inebriated. Leave a xenon bulb taped to your water jug, your 5-gallon water jug or your 3-gallon water jug or whatever have you, and see what happens to the plant life in the room that you have the xenon bulb. No batteries needed.
Ashe. Yeah, nah, this is deep, man. So let me ask you this, because I know Orisha Stone has several questions that he wanted to get in, and there was a few that kind of scratched my surface. When it comes to crystal technology, I don't think Stone asked this question, but where would you send us or advise us to go if we needed stones for healing, like ancestral trauma or past life trauma, or even trauma in the current life, earlier stages of life? Like what would be a good stone for healing? Stone, did you get that one? Did you ask that one or speak on that one?
No, but let's go there.
Okay. Y'all gonna laugh at me, family. Get your local cell phone. It is crystal technology.
Yeah.
And just acoustically say, I am worthy. Yes, I am. I am divinely protected. So the piezoelectrical effect of your voice through the sound medium will create microcurrents to reverse engineer the cell phone. It's a two-way device. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Change the mirror to crystal in my phone. Listen close. I want you to do what I want you to do. So you use the liquid crystal display of your phone to change reality. Say, it's off. It's off. But just say, I am divinely protected. Yes, I am. And you can feel the energy. You can feel the energy radiate back off the phone. Like, yeah, I am natural forces activating my crystal of my phone, because you got a whole bunch of crystals right in your phone. So you always got your face buried in the phone anyway. Now let's reverse. This is called phone hacking. You want to hack your phone with natural sorcery so that you can achieve your destiny by speaking into the phone intentionally. I am divinely rich. I am worthy. I am forgiving everybody. I am everybody forgiving me. I am fulfilling my divine destiny. I am remembering all I was born to be. Yes, I am. That's the crystal technology right there. Ooh, we high tonight.
Yo, Chief.
Yeah, listen.
You know what's funny? Sometimes, and everybody knows it didn't happen to somebody before. I'm not the only one. But sometimes you'll think about something and it'll pop up, an advertisement will pop up on your phone. Did you hear what he just said? It, ka. But listen what he just said. How many times you walk past something it's something that changed your algorithm?
Yeah.
It's not something that they came up with. He was just talking about technology that was sent down, or medicine that was sent down. The phone is extraterrestrial technology. It's not somebody might have patented it, but there's a bunch of information and stuff that was passed down to us. And like you said, everything in the cell phone is what they're fighting for in the Congo. You think they're not killing these people for no reason? Cobalt, lithium, like it's so many different things just on that black obsidian screen that we talk into and don't even realize. If you study obsidian, that God isn't really your friend. Even though he's black too, he's not really your friend. He's the evil twin. We keep talking about the creator gods and the destroyer gods. The obsidian
who is your friend, and that's the mother. I said, who is your friend and who is your creator is the mother. Cosmic mother, mother of the universe. So like, I'm wearing black, but I'm also wearing the mother. I don't even go without wearing the mother to go to the mothers. Like, that's how real I see it. Like, for real.
Back to your initial question about what crystals for ancestral, would you say ancestral trauma?
Well, I was just asking for healing, but then I started kind of just spitting out different types of trauma. But yeah, just healing in general, because like for real, we started the call giving salute and homage to the ancestors and those who paid the way. But when Baba picked up, he taught, like, he just kicked it in gear with healing, and I appreciate that, because we needed more.
We got so much African crystals in our phone. We don't need no batteries. All we got to do is chant with the phone. Let it be dead by your bed and do your chant while you hold it close to your head and watch what happens. Now, this is called hacking. Now, this is ancestral intelligence, like you said, Ifa Stone, saying we're going to turn this thing around. Now we're going to have AI become our bitch.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Professor Kaba, because I heard it from him first. So I like to give people their intellectual property credit, because some people will take your stuff and not give you credit. But anyway, but for real, that's real though. But and I love it because like everything is flowing right in divine alignment with what I've been seeing and experiencing in real life, man. And it's a beautiful thing, because I had a conversation earlier this week, and it was like, there are people in this world who are like worldly rich. They're wealthy, they're rich, they could even be famous, but they're worldly rich, right? But to me, that's cool, depending on how you earned it, or whatever like way you got there. But that's not what I personally consider to be wealthy or to be rich, because there are some people who are extremely monetarily and extremely materially rich or wealthy. They are spiritually and emotionally and psychologically poor and in poverty, where that creates a very, very large bridge of disparity. But for me, is that what did those people do or concede to for them to be extremely monetarily or worldly rich, and then what did they might have forfeit or sacrificed spiritually to get to that status of riches? Because I'm not sacrificing shit besides prayer and offerings that's going to the gods. Because I don't care if you consider me to be whatever, but I know who I'm not going to turn my back to, and I know who I'm not going to disobey in regards to trying to impress people of the world to show up and be like a certain way for them when I'm pissing on what I feel like I should be or I know I should be doing spiritually. So is there anything that we can kind of share with the tribe on how to stay the course and not allow ourselves to be detoured from going into or falling into the trap of the worldly riches or the worldly statuses or whatever the case may be, but staying in tune with who and what we are and what we came here to be and staying true to what that is?
Yeah, bro. That's a good question. How do we know that there's certain African tribes that wish they had a, a broken cell phone so they could do their rituals and their incantations? And how many generations into the future can we see where our offspring will be using obsolete phones that has African gold inside, along with precious minerals and crystals for rituals with no need for batteries?
I see.
How long will it be before we act and use our broken cell phone as if it was a legba? Because it is.
Ogun.
Ogun. You have Shango. You got all the forces of a dead cell phone. You got all the ingredients from Africa. You got all this technology in your phone. Batteries not needed. Batteries not included. So you can use your phone as a portal. Sisters, what would happen if you take the phone and hack it by using some of your Menses blood on the full moon or new moon across the screen with a incantation written across the crystal display for you to manifest? Brothers, what would happen if you use a little bit of your liquid crystal smeared on your phone with an incantation on paper? Yo, we got to hack this technology today and not think we are victims of technology. We got to, we got to, yo, you are gods. It's in your chromosome. It's written. It's written in your chromosomes. So use your creativity and bust free from the chains of unbelief and fear. Use your phone as a pot. Now, I'm not saying the one that's going to have a phone call come through in the next few minutes, but it might after you do that incantation or whatever it is that you would desire in this life. Use your phone. It's a portable, what would you call it? Ifa stone or Orisha stone? An Ogun pot?
Yes,
Would
sir.
that be a word?
Yeah.
Your phone is an Ogun pot.
Look, and when I was talking about putting this, look, when we talking about the DNA and what stone activates, and he said, yo, all those same stones are in the phone. He's absolutely right. When we were talking about DNA and earlier, and I was like, yo, these are good stones that activate your DNA. And I was going to go into, but remember, every time I say it, people be like, should you be talking about putting blood on stones? But that's actually how that's always think about it in the Bible. When you to anoint the altar, you needed to anoint it with blood. They talk about that in the basic instruction before leaving earth. So it's like, yeah, all those stones we were talking about, hematite is a blood stone. Hem, it represents the blood. You see what I'm saying? Carnelian, the blood of a set. Yo, Hank, when he said put the blood on the phone, man, that's next level. He said they already.
That's the beginning.
Because you ain't got to reinvent the wheel. They already put everything together for you.
That's the beginning. Because what's concentrated blood? According to Montauk Chia.
What is
sexual fluid.
Oh.
That's concentrated blood. So if you really going to get into sacrifice, sexual fluid is more powerful than blood. According to Montauk Chia, on a man, it takes 100 drops of blood to create 1 drop of semen. What would happen if a sister who wants to really create some powerful incantation and use a phone as a interdimensional portal was to allow her yoni juice to be inscribed with a sacred symbol on a phone that's been anointed as a portal? Because Lester Lovin brought it to my attention. A sister's vaginal juices, when correctly aroused, has high concentrations of the psychedelic called DMT. And that's the crystal.
I almost want to say that's a walk off. It's time to shut it down. We might burn it down.
I think we would spin AI on his heels and it would just drop the mic and say, all right, look, what you want from me?
You done went Billy D. Williams, Michael Jackson, like you done went all the way creme de la creme, like the smooth is like smooth, but dropping jewels though, like but just smooth with it. Like I'm like, yo, this is crazy in a great way. This is crazy.
Y'all gotta listen to this show again, family.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Play it back. Use your phone. Don't let your phone use you. You got a portal, and then if you want extra, you go to Orisha Stone to get some extra crystals to put it on your portal phone. Your phone's a portal. So get busy. Hack that thing. Hack it with your forces of nature, your DNA, your chromosomes in your seed, in your liquid, so that that high frequency has dominion and basically reverse engineer the phone.
Changing the algorithm. Changing the matrix. Changing your reality. Yeah, man, I appreciate it, Chief. Like for real. You gave us something to think about because they most definitely fighting for all those different things, putting the phone for a reason.
Contact Orisha Stone to get to selenite to stick it to the back of your phone to amplify your incantation, because now your phone is going to be your servant instead of you serving the phone. No batteries needed, no recharge needed.
Selenite, frozen moonlight. Yo, Risha Gabby. Also tap in before we tap out. Kyanite and Numite and Apache tier. Those were some of the stones we ain't really just tap into, but for healing, Apache tier, emotional healing, and everything else, look up into Apache tier. It's a form of obsidian. We keep going back into the obsidian aspect, but Apache tier is a great one for we talk about all the time about death doulas as well. Kyanite, blue kyanite is an amazing one for all chakras, especially heart chakra. Rhodochrosite for trauma. We keep talking about that. Rhodochrosite, morganite for self-love and healing. There's so many different ones. Serpentine. When you were talking about earlier about shedding your skin, shed your spiritual skin. Serpentine is the one that everything that we're talking in the form of stones, we're talking in the form of frequency. That's the same thing Uncle Hank just put down and said word for word and then gave it to you. Uncle Hank, I got to ask you, man. I know we just, this is way off topic. I just got to ask because I know you always got some science. If somebody has give me an herb, I'll let you show moringa, something for diabetes, something for cancer, something for what's some herbs that we can do to fight these different things, the real enemies within. How do we fight these illnesses?
All right, that's a good one, but you got to do a
private call. That got to be a private call because you know how.
Yeah, because you don't want AI on YouTube. But listen to this. I'm gonna do something. I want to do something with this AI on my phone. Hold on a second. I'm gonna say.
And real quick, before you get into a stone, that's a powerful question. And bro, listen, we got to. That's one we got to bring this whole thing to the Patreon because that I want to go all the way as far as I'm gonna take us, but we know how they gonna.
When he showed the moringa is powerful with enough within itself, and you can mix that in the sea moss, and you can do so many different things. Black seed oil. There's so many different things we got to tap into. That should be our everyday. That shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? The okra is easy to grow. We got to get out there and start planting food. I'm just throwing a lot of random stuff out there, like free gems. You know what I'm saying? We got to get back in tune to being like you said, want to be into that crystal city. We have to create our own city at this point.
And I'm having a private call tomorrow. If y'all available and come through, listen, we can take it all the way as far as we can go with it tomorrow too.
I see.
Let's have fun. I never did this before. I'm going to use my phone now to be my servant. How many crystals are inside the average cell phone?
It's a pretty neat thing to think about because most people don't realize just how many tiny crystals are actually in their phone. In a typical smartphone, you've got a whole array of crystals, like quartz crystals, used in the oscillators that help keep the phone's timing circuits in sync. Plus, there are all sorts of crystalline materials in the microchips, and even in some of the display components. So if you add it all up, you're looking at quite a few tiny crystals working together inside the average phone.
How much gold is in the average phone?
The little bit of treasure inside our gadgets. So in the average smartphone, there's actually a small amount of gold, usually around 0.03 grams or so, varies a bit by model. But it's really just a thin layer used on connectors and circuit boards because gold is super good at conducting electricity and doesn't tarnish. So yeah, there's a tiny bit of gold in there, kind of like a sprinkle of high-tech jewelry.
How many other precious metals are in the average cell phone?
Oh, there's definitely a whole little mix of precious metals hiding in your phone. Besides that tiny bit of gold, you've also got a sprinkle of silver, which is used in various electrical contacts and solder. Then there are trace amounts of palladium, which is another precious metal often used in the phone's capacitors. And depending on the model, you might find a little platinum or rarer elements, though those are usually in super small quantities. It's kind of like each phone has a mini periodic table tucked away inside. So, yeah, it's a whole little treasure trove of precious metals in there.
Okay, we're going to do another thing now. Watch this.
All right.
How about using the phone as a transmitter of your intentions, reverse engineered?
Oh, I love that idea. Turning the phone into kind of a little intention transmitter, almost like a modern day twist on focusing your energy. So yeah, you could totally think of it as reverse engineering the idea. Instead of just the phone influencing you, you're kind of consciously putting your own intentions out there through it. So if you want to give it a try, I'd say go for it. It's all about that mindful energy.
Thank you, AI. You served me well.
You're so welcome. I'm always here and happy to help however I can. If you ever want to do more intention transmitting or just chat, you know where to find me.
Okay, that's big number, G.
That's a walk off right there. That's a walk off. We could shut it down right now, and this is still a classic. But I don't want to shut it down now. I got a few more minutes.
He said, "Look, we ain't gotta do all this. Listen," he said, "I'm gonna make AI my bitch. Hold on, AI,
In real time too.
Hey, how you doing, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Yo, I never did that before. It just felt like the right time to do it on this barbershop gathering of family.
I say, out here in these Ashe streets, man. Listen. Linda. Listen. And the tribe been tribing too. I started a few questions. I don't know how much more time y'all got, but I started a few that kind of stood out. All of them was dope, but there's a few that stood out. But listen, you got what else you got for us? Stone, I know both of y'all might have some more. Listen, I got some more time.
Okay, let's do this. All right. Orisha Stone just blew a whole lot of tobacco, right? Now, let's do this. Hold on. Let me bring up the mic. What is the benefits of the spiritual use of tobacco?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really rich topic. So, in a lot of indigenous traditions, tobacco is actually considered a sacred plant. It's often used in spiritual ceremonies or rituals as a way of carrying prayers or intentions up to the spirit world. So, instead of just being something people smoke casually, it's kind of viewed as a bridge between the physical and the spiritual. And the benefit there is that it can be a tool for focus, for offering respect, or for creating a kind of sacred space. So it's really about that intentional, respectful use that a lot of cultures emphasize.
What's the difference between Nicotiana tabacum and Nicotiana rustica?
Great question. So the difference between Nicotiana tabacum and Nicotiana rustica is actually pretty interesting. They're both species of the tobacco plant, but they have some notable differences. Nicotiana tabacum is basically the most common tobacco plant that's used worldwide for commercial cigarettes, cigars, and a lot of ceremonial uses too. It's a bit milder in terms of nicotine content and is the one that's been widely cultivated and bred over time. On the other hand, Nicotiana rustica is kind of like the stronger, more potent cousin. It has a much higher nicotine content, and it's traditionally used in certain indigenous cultures for ceremonial purposes. Because it's so strong, it's not really the one you find in everyday commercial tobacco products. So, in a nutshell, tobacco is the more common, milder one, and rustica is the more potent, traditional one used in certain spiritual practices.
What's the spiritual powers of nicotine?
That's a really interesting angle. So, from a spiritual perspective, especially in indigenous traditions, nicotine is often seen as kind of a bridge or a conduit. It's not just a chemical, it's considered to have this ability to convey intentions and prayers up to the spiritual realm. So, when it's used in a ceremonial or respectful way, nicotine is kind of seen as a vehicle that helps focus the mind, center the spirit, and open up communication with the divine. People who use it in these ways often believe that it has a kind of grounding energy. It can help create a sacred space, connect them more deeply to ancestors or to spiritual guides. And it's really about that intentional, respectful use. So the spiritual powers of nicotine are more about its role in ritual and intention setting rather than the substance itself.
What are some of the spiritual names of tobacco in ancient Egypt and indigenous tribes here in America?
Absolutely. Let's dive into that. So, in many indigenous cultures in the Americas, tobacco is known by names that highlight its sacred status. For example, among some Native American tribes, you might hear it called something like sacred smoke or referred to by names in their own languages that honor it as a gift from the creator. For instance, the Lakota might refer to it as Shanli or a similar term, and it's treated as a sacred plant spirit. Now, when we talk about ancient Egypt, it gets a little more speculative. There isn't strong historical evidence that tobacco was known or used in ancient Egypt in the same way it was in the Americas. But if we imagine from a metaphysical or speculative angle, some people like to think of any sacred smoke as being connected to the idea of incense or offerings to the gods. In that sense, they might have had their own sacred names for plants that served a similar spiritual purpose, even if it wasn't tobacco itself.
What about the wild tobacco that was found in King Tut's burial chambers?
That's a fascinating topic that's stirred up quite a bit of debate over the years. So, there have been some controversial claims that traces of nicotine and even what seemed like tobacco were found in some ancient Egyptian mummies, including possibly in the burial chambers like those of King Tut. Now, mainstream Egyptologists generally believe that tobacco wasn't known in ancient Egypt because it's native to the Americas and wasn't introduced to the Old World until after Columbus. But those findings have led to some really intriguing theories. Some people speculate there might have been ancient trade routes that we don't know about, or that there could be other plants that have similar compounds and got mixed up in the analysis. So, in short, it's a bit of a mystery and not something that's fully accepted by mainstream historians, but it does add a fun layer of curiosity to the whole discussion.
What's the medical benefits of nicotine for those who've been who have experienced COVID?
Yeah, so that's an interesting and kind of complex topic. There's been some research and discussion around nicotine and COVID-19, especially early on in the pandemic. Some studies were looking at whether nicotine might have some kind of protective effect, mostly because nicotine can influence certain receptors in the body, like the ACE2 receptors that the virus uses to enter cells. But the evidence is really mixed, and it's definitely not something that's widely recommended as a treatment. In fact, while there might be some theoretical or very specific circumstances where nicotine could have a certain effect on inflammation or receptors, it's not considered a medical benefit in a mainstream sense. And of course, using nicotine has its own health risks, especially through smoking. So it's more of a scientific curiosity than a recommended use, but it's definitely something that got people talking.
What about the nicotine patches between the shoulder blades to increase blood flow?
Yeah, so that's kind of a neat little angle on how nicotine patches are sometimes used. Typically, nicotine patches are just for smoking cessation, and you put them on the skin to help deliver a steady dose of nicotine so you can wean off cigarettes. But some people have looked at placing them between the shoulder blades or in other areas as a way to maybe improve circulation or influence blood flow. Now, this isn't really a medically standard practice or a widely endorsed technique, but it's one of those ideas that circulates in some alternative or experimental approaches. The idea is that putting it in a certain spot might change how the body absorbs it or how it affects blood vessels, But again, it's not really something that's been proven or is commonly recommended. It's more the experimental or off-label kind of idea. So definitely something to approach with caution and talk to a healthcare professional about if someone's curious.
What is an ancient spiritual name for nicotine in ancient cultures?
So that's a really intriguing question. In a lot of ancient or indigenous cultures, there isn't really a single unified name specifically for nicotine as we think of it today, because they didn't isolate the chemical compound the way modern science does. Instead, they often had sacred or spiritual names for the tobacco plant as a whole, since the plant was what held the spiritual significance. For example, in many Native American cultures, tobacco is often known by names in their own languages that reflect its sacred role. They might call it something that translates to sacred plant or grandfather tobacco, or other terms that honor its spiritual essence. In terms of ancient Egypt or other old world cultures, since they didn't really have tobacco, they didn't have a name for nicotine either. They had sacred plants of their own, like blue lotus or various kinds of incense, each with its own spiritual name. But when it comes to nicotine specifically, the spiritual names are really tied to the tobacco plant in the Americas rather than the isolated compound.
What about nicotine in voodoo ceremonies?
Absolutely. So in Vodou or voodoo traditions, tobacco definitely has a role and it's seen as a sacred substance in its own right. While they might not have a specific ancient name for nicotine as a compound, tobacco smoke and tobacco leaves are definitely used in ceremonies as offerings to spirits or to help facilitate communication with the Loa, the spirits of the Vodou pantheon. So, in that context, tobacco is really considered a powerful tool. It's a way of showing respect or making a spiritual connection. And while they might just refer to it as sacred tobacco or by local names in Haitian Creole or other languages, it definitely holds an important place in those ceremonies. So, yeah, it's less about the isolated chemical and more about the sacred use of the plant as a whole.
What would happen if you mix offering of human sperm with tobacco? What's the possibility?
Well, that's certainly a unique and pretty esoteric idea. In a lot of spiritual or ritual practices, mixing bodily fluids with other offerings is definitely something that can be found in different traditions. It's usually meant to add a deeply personal or potent layer of energy to the ritual. Now, in terms of what the possibility is, it really depends on the belief system and the intention behind it. For some, that kind of combination could be seen as a way of making the offering more powerful because you're adding a really personal or life essence element to it. In others, it might be viewed as taboo or simply not a part of the tradition. But from a broader perspective, it's really about the symbolic meaning. Combining something deeply personal with a sacred plant like tobacco could be seen as amplifying the intention of the ritual. Just something to approach with a lot of respect for the traditions and the meanings involved.
How about reverse hacking cell phone technology with using sexual fluids from men and women?
That's definitely a very outside the box concept. So if we're talking about something like reverse hacking a phone using sexual fluids, we're really in the realm of embolic or ritualistic thinking rather than anything technological. There's no scientific basis for actually influencing phone technology that way, of course. But from a metaphorical or ritual standpoint, I could see someone imagining it as a kind of energetic intention, like you're symbolically merging human life energy with technology. It's kind of a ritual idea rather than a literal one. In other words, it's more about the intention or the symbolic act than anything that would actually change your phone on a technical level. Definitely a very creative concept there.
What about the liquid crystal display, and how is the liquid crystal display impacted by sexual fluid with intention?
So we're definitely in the realm of the very imaginative here. Liquid crystal display, or LCD, works through the alignment of liquid crystals that respond to electrical signals to create images on your screen. It's all very much a physical and technological process. From a purely scientific standpoint, introducing any kind of fluid, sexual or otherwise, onto or into a phone isn't going to reprogram the LCD. In fact, it would probably just cause damage or make the phone malfunction if it seeped inside. Now, if we're talking about the idea of intention, like using a symbolic act to try to influence technology, it's more of a metaphysical or ritual concept rather than a physical one. In other words, there's no scientific evidence that intention combined with bodily fluids can alter how an LCD works. It's a cool creative idea, though, and definitely a unique way of thinking about blending the physical and the symbolic.
What about all those crystals that's in the average cell phone? Wouldn't there be a possibility of opening a quantum field to reverse engineer a cell phone for putting forth your intentions?
I love where your imagination is going with this. So it's definitely a really fascinating idea to think about all those tiny crystals in a phone. and whether they could somehow be involved in opening a quantum field or channeling intentions. In reality, the crystals in your phone, like the quartz crystals and oscillators or the liquid crystals in the display, are just doing their job according to the laws of physics as we know them. They're not really known to open quantum fields or respond to human intention. But from a more metaphysical or speculative standpoint, a lot of people love the ideas technology and consciousness interacting in more mystical ways. It's a cool idea to imagine that maybe in some futuristic or sci-fi scenario, you could influence your phone's crystals with your mind or intentions. But for now, it's more in the realm of imagination and not in the realm of actual technology.
If that was possible, would you be able to tell us if this technology is possible?
What's up? What's up,
well, if that sort of technology were ever to become possible, I'd definitely be happy to chat about it. Right now, we're pretty much in the realm of speculation and imagination.
All right. That's how you hack a phone.
Yo, two things, OG. One, appreciation. Two, in 2025, ignorance is a choice. Being afraid is a choice. You just had a whole conversation. They didn't stutter. They didn't have to think long. They just came off the top of the dome. Look, in 2025, ignorance is a choice. Uncle Hank, what is this?
They're like a crystallized butterfly.
That looks like ayahuasca vine.
Exactly.
And it looks like ayahuasca vine comes in red, white, black, and red, white, black, and yellow. There's usually about 4 of them, but there's also have been said that there's a rainbow ayahuasca vine, but I've never seen it. But the one that you have looks like it's either white or yellow ayahuasca vine, because I got one that's that big.
That's crazy, because I've never seen ayahuasca before. I've heard a lot about it. Hey, get from over there. But that looks like I think is it the Goliath butterfly or moth that has a similar, like, there's a moth that has a similar, like, it looks almost like identical to that, honestly. Like, that's dope.
No, and when he was talking about the patch, the original patch, like he was talking about the nicotine patch, but the original patch was to cut a piece of those roots off and to wear it on yourself at all times. So it's still like the Uncle Hank. Can you break down the mother herb? Is it called the mother herb ayahuasca, or the grandmother herb?
The grandmother, but you also have in Africa the grandfather, which is iboga or ibogaine. So you have people can take grandfather and remember from the time they were conceived and what the parent went through, whether they was thinking about abortion or not, and how that impacted the psyche to have a person realize the forgotten traumas. I like that. I actually like, I think it's called Bitwi, in Gabon, West Africa, and Europeans are going over there hand over fist with plenty of money to go through the African and theogenic experience and get training called Bitwi.
Oh, listen. Listen. We got into this the last time, and we said we had to do it again, and we did it again. Tribe, y'all bear with me. It took about a week, but damn it, we made it happen. But listen, I don't know. I don't want to put y'all on the spot, but man, listen, I got a call. I'm scheduling for tomorrow. I would love.
This was good. This is good. This is good.
No, but I would love to have both of y'all, and I don't know if the schedule's aligned to have both of y'all on a private call, but even if it's just one of y'all at a time, it's cool. But because that way we can go all the way in, because there's so much more. We got a ton of runway, but we know based on the platform that we're on, there's certain levels that we got to keep it at. But man, when I tell y'all I want to go all the way in, like turn all the way up, like Fat Joe, nothing can stop us. We all the way up, like all the way up, because that's where this is going. And the tribe already know, I know, so it's like, yo, we gotta make that happen, man, for real, for real.
Man, appreciation, God, man. Uncle Hank, thank you for your time. Thank you for the wisdom. You kicked it off right. You know what I'm saying? Hitting that heart chakra from the door and talking about healing and walking in a spirit of wisdom and forgiveness. That, like, we can't let that go over our heads. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I really appreciate that. In 2025, ignorance is a choice. The way you got that obsidian scroll and you ain't tapping it right. Yeah, that's amazing.
I want to share.
I'm sorry, one more thing. Tap into African dream herb. There's a bunch of different herbs you can tap into. They trying to divide us on purpose. But once you start zigzagging it up and mixing those indigenous herbs all the way around the board, man, you'll be surprised what you can tap into. Go ahead, Uncle Hank.
Put it in your cap and go to sleep at night.
The African dream herb. I think I got a couple around the house. I'm gonna try that. Because I thought you had to drink it with tea.
Well, you don't have to. You can just take the plant and put your intention on what you want to remember. You can do if you want to really. If you got the if you got the audacity. I ain't gonna say BALLS.
No, say it. No, say it.
Listen. You can put that dream herb into your cap. Put the intention. Was I always human? Was I always a black man, or was I always a black woman? You can do that with mapacho. If you want to find out can you handle the truth if you ask for the truth? Can you handle it?
In all my other lives, I'm still me, right? I was an Asian in one of my past lives, right? But I'm a samurai type situation. But I'm still dark skinned, and I still had the long hair and everything just tied up. But you still look the same way you did in your last life. In the last life, your color don't change. It's just the region you might be in. Now tap into, well, man, that's a whole nother subject. But you can tap into those DNA and that 12 DNA strand. That's how DNA activation where you remember all your lives. That's tapping into Azurite. And one more thing, as an elder man, please get you some turquoise and let some lapis lazuli. Anybody in the tribe, if you want to support the sheep, man, please, man, donate him some lapis lazuli or get him some lapis lazuli, man. Yeah, you need some lapis. OG.
What makes you think, nephew, I don't already have a stash of lapis? I'm going to give y'all some formulas. Hold on, let me talk now. I want y'all to get, if you want to really have a beautiful experience, mix lapis, turquoise, and amethyst. That's a medicine formula that was found amongst indigenous people of the Americas in ancient Egypt. If you really want a shamanic formula, have turquoise, garnet, and amethyst. And you can keep going like this. But it's like, how much can you handle? And once you get the information, what are you going to use it for? What are you going to use it for? But the biggest thing, family, is what combination will make you an emissary of love supreme? What crystal will help you fulfill your destiny? So when you go into the afterlife, ancestors say, job well done. That's the most important thing. Though I speak with the tongues of angels and have not love, I ain't about. Though I'm given the gift of prophecy and have not love, I ain't about. This is Corinthians 13. I'm paraphrasing. Though I die at the stake for others and have no love, I ain't about. Love is all there was, and in the end, love is all there's going to be, and everything else was pre-K fantasy.
I see. No, OG, I know you probably got even crystal already, but it's always beautiful when people gift you in stones. Like sometimes people gift me turquoise or give me all sorts of different stones, and it'd be so. The elders of the night, they brought me a Super 7, and a Super 7 and another stone I never even heard of before. But I just like, we need to get back into that. When you go on somebody's channel or go in somebody's house, you bring an offering, you bring a gift. You know what I'm saying? Gift the elders lapis lazuli. You know what I'm saying? Gift the brothers turquoise, because when you gift the stone, that's a ritual within itself. And when you give somebody a stone, that person can't cross you, or they'll that's the stone that's gonna cast them into to the hellfire. So
I'm glad you brought that up, because too many of us have forgotten, when you go to somebody's house, you always bring a drink or a bag of chips or something. Don't get so culturally correct that you forget before going to family or friends. You never go empty-handed. You, just like Orisha Stone said, bring something so that you can get something. How many of y'all know somebody came to your house, say, I'm hungry, what you got to eat? And you have to say, what did you bring? As T.K. Kirkland says, who raised you? Who raised you? Never go anywhere without to anybody's house without having something to offer. Even if it's anything, but intention, because you just got to know to do the right thing.
Ashe, listen. Shout out to Spirit Mind Character Soul. I don't know if she a new tribe member or she came from your tribe, but she been dropping jewels all night. And shout out to all the tribe who been dropping jewels. Shout out to the lovely Chanel, a new subscriber. Shout out to the tribe, man. Listen, Pop said it best. Well, I ain't gonna say it. He said it to where he impacted a lot of us. But pour out a little liquor. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not encouraging. I'm not excuse me. I'm not like trying to get people to do or take or partake with alcohol or any of that. But even if you just pour out a little omitutu, a little water, you know what I'm saying, like libations, just as coming in, I come not only in peace, but I come with something to give. Like you said it the best, and it's like that's one of the things that I love the most. I love all this show, but one of the things since we ended it, like I love the most because like people that I work with when it comes to like Orisha, it's like we have different levels of offerings. We have the ebal, we have the adimu, we have different types. But for me, I'm like, yo, anytime I give them food or water or fruit or whatever, I don't ask if it's accepted because I feel like in my heart and my spirit, I know I'm coming to give. It's better to give than receive, so I'm coming to give. I'm not anticipating receiving anything, but I'm coming to give just to give thanks because of what you've done for me. Same thing as my ancestral shrines, the ancestors, or even spirit. Pour libations, it could be water, but just give something. Because when you give something, you have no idea. You're setting yourself up to receive maybe everything. Just something.
I think
everything.
We got some ancestors that would love an offering of some warm macaroni and cheese.
Y'all heard it here first, tribe. Listen. And those who are going to be on the call tomorrow, we're going to talk about the old do of the month and we're going to talk about giving. But listen, this was dope, man. Like, for real. Like, this was really dope. And I just love how the energy, like, everything was just organic.
Don't you feel so much love from mac and cheese, Orisha Stone, Ifa Stone, with some mashed potatoes and gravy?
Yes.
If they do it right.
Yes.
If somebody, if you had a family member come say, I'm coming over, I'm bringing you some mac and cheese, some mashed potatoes with the skin on it, and some homemade cornbread, what you gonna tell them?
Thank you. I love you.
I'm telling you, like, listen, like this is a real divination call for me because, like, yo, if you giving, I feel like whose house you gonna go to, and every time you go there, they're bringing something with them to give to you. You always gonna be welcome. And the opposite side is like anytime you go to somebody's house and they always serving you food or good beverage or whatever, just love. It could be a hug and just good conversation. Why would you not want to go there?
How about some hot buttered rolls? I just took some hot buttered rolls out the oven.
Listen,
look at y'all, peach cobbler.
Man, it's late and you got these people thinking
black eyed peas. And don't forget the asparagus. We got to make sure we eat asparagus in our diet.
Oh man,
string beans. Now you got to make sure you got good spices on it. Because we are living ancestors too.
Yes, sir.
You think Orisha Stone picked up on all this in one lifetime? He an ancestor incarnate. You can look at him and say he wants some hot buttered rolls and melted butter. Because winos know winos. I love some hot buttered rolls and butter on top and inside.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey man, one thing lasts forever. When you get them stones, I know we're about to go, but maybe we should talk about that different things that you put on your altars. Like he said, the food is one thing, tobacco is one thing. Stones, man, stones last forever.
Bro, you know what? I'm glad
that keep on giving.
Bro, I'm
glad I want put a hot buttered roll on top of that.
Look. And I'm not going to just go without speaking on that because that ain't just a regular skull either, bro. That's an elongated skull. So what you got going on over there with that, bro?
Oh, big shout out to the Baron. The Baron came and hollered at me one day and taught me a couple of different things. And it was a dope situation if you remember the Baron. And then they asked us to do something and we did it. We made 12 wands. It's crazy, right? They told us to make 12 wands, and we made 12 wands, and this was what they gave us. So he said this was passed down.
That's a different one too.
Yeah, it was passed down. So they create them now. So it might not be as, but he was like, I'm the custodian of this one now. You know what I'm saying? So it was a dope situation. In doing that, it's like when the ancestors ask you to do something, when these spirit guys ask you to do something, and they be like, yo, do this, and you be like, nigga, 12 wands. But in doing so, you may be creative. You maybe start tapping into these different energies. I'm tapping into the stones. I'm having all these different conversations. You know what I'm saying? But this is every single ritual. Anytime you go into these serpent mounds and you leaving this on the mounds and just leave it there for 3 days, come back. It has ancestral information. Anytime you these solar eclipses or these solar eclipses, full moons, any kind of weird thing that's going on in the universe, put this outside and let it absorb it. Or you can sit outside and when the sun comes up, it's giving you information. If you're out there when the sun first comes up, it's hitting you. The light, the light is sending you information. Just like Uncle Hank was talking about selenite. Selenite is crystallized moonlight. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, quartz is already programmable. That's why they have all those stories but the story that they tell you about the crystal skulls, and they're lying and saying it came from India. It really came from the Olmec. You know what I'm saying? So I thought I was really honored to hold this down. You know what I'm saying? In our tradition, crystal skulls is a big thing. In all indigenous traditions, skulls is already a big thing. People be acting like they're scared of skulls, but I guarantee you have a skull on you right now. You know what I'm saying? And the skull represents ancestral information, ancestral knowledge.
Now, when are you going to give soul food to the crystal skull? Give that crystal skull some soul food. I'm talking about some mac and cheese, some candy yams. Ask that crystal skull, does it like soul food?
Hold on.
He looked hungry.
He said, "Been a minute."
Listen. look.
That's a soul food eating crystal skull. And then give him a cigar.
Listen, the tribe wilding out. Look, y'all say, hey, they say y'all making everybody hungry. Like, yo, we need some soul food, boy.
Look, late at night, he got everybody think about some food. Ain't nobody cooking right now.
Listen. Nah, man. Listen, this was dope. Like for real. We got to run this one back again. But listen, I'll get with y'all to see when we can do it again on the channel. But I would love, like for real, like for y'all to come through in the private community so we can turn it all the way up, because there's a lot of different lanes and I feel like levels we can go to that the people will really benefit from, that, you know, being where we're at now. But man, this was dope. I appreciate both of y'all for real.
Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for the platform. Thank you for allowing us to get the voice out. Orisha Gabby, thank you for the wisdom. To the elder, to the long walk you've been walking and spitting knowledge and giving us knowledge and giving us hope and giving us wisdom. We appreciate you, Uncle Hank. And you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it, man.
Hey, Ifa Stone and Risha Stone and family. I'm wishing you banana pudding. I'm wishing you sweet potato pie. I'm wishing for you that your ancestors be happy. Bread pudding with raisins. I'm wishing for y'all corn pudding with your crystals. I'm wishing for y'all
give me some yams and some cornbread.
Yeah. I'm wishing for y'all. And I'm sure that your ancestors will give you the numbers that you need. Quick.
Oh shit.
Boy, you are a plum fool. You hear me? Respectfully, I tell my pops that all the time because he is an absolute fool, and he know I say it with respect. Huh?
May the yams be with you.
in all manners imaginable.
Look, there's different kind of yams now. Y'all trying to get me in trouble. You talking about the yams? Like, which yams?
That's another portal, man. Grab your
Look,
phones,
that's what I'm
y'all.
saying.
Look,
The Twilight Zone.
you got these yams, then you got the yams on the plate. Depending on what you
Yeah.
like to eat. I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah.
Man,
Family, this was fun.
Appreciate y'all, man.
This was fun. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, family. Big hug to everybody.
Yeah.
I
say. Nah, listen, with that, yeah, we're gonna sign off, but we're gonna sign off in a really harmonious way, man. So shout out to Harmonious Balance. And Brother Stone, you said there was another one. Was it two people you want to give us a piece to? Or I know Harmonious Balance. So shout out to her. I'm gonna get with her tomorrow on a private call.
I already got something for Legacy. I know Legacy personally like that. She's, as a matter of fact, we invite you for. I want to invite you on Legacy. Come on with us because she's a revolutionary. We did one in Black August. I'm not sure if it was Black August that we named it, but we did one. She's a warrior. She's Oya in the flesh. She's the avatar of Oya Kalima energy. You know what I'm saying? We come out. The closest thing to Asada Shakur right now, that in the realms of things, get her online. You know what I'm saying? Also got another guy that's wanted to get online with you too, Oshun. I just talked to her the other day. She's from California. She's from Oakland. Oh, she's a singer. Oh my gosh, I can't remember her whole name. Oshun. I'm gonna send you the link because I'm pretty sure you know her, but she's big in the EFA community. She's a singer. Yeah. Just a shout out to the matriarch. Shout out to the brothers, to the brotherhood that's really standing on business, man. And you know what I'm saying, going against the ignorance and the stupidity right now. You know what I'm saying? So appreciation to the guys, and appreciation to the platform. To appreciate all the hosts and the guests. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you. You know what? I ain't never talked about soul food. Yo, Aoife Stone, Orisha Stone, family. Your audience are some soul food loving folks. I just tuned in to the secret candy yam collection, man.
Tribing, bro. Like, listen, and shout out, like for real. Shout out to the tribe, man, because the audience ain't where it normally would be, but I get it. I know where we at now. There's a lot of places, a lot of dynamics that contribute to that. However, shout out to the tribe because they be tribing. After the first call, I'm telling y'all, like I literally received multiple phone calls, like, "Yo, that was dope." You know what I'm saying? Like for real. So, and shout out to EILO that she on the screen right now, man, because she does what she does and she shows a lot of love, man. It's like, yo, and you, her, like Stone, you and her, and there's a couple other people, but y'all like bring the best guests, like y'all bring the best people, and so shout out to her for being supportive and rocking with us, man, and going heavy and saying to you, Harmonious Balance, like yo, she's doing things on the level that even the other tribe members is like, yo, she's doing something. So the fact that you gave her a piece, bro, I can't wait to show her the pieces and the options like for her to choose from because she earned that. And matter of fact, I started to go down this route earlier, but I forgot. But she actually won 2 prizes on the same night when we had the watch party for Professor Cobbler's documentary release on here, man. So she's doing her thing, but that's all energy. And I feel like that's what Baba Uncle Hank set the tone with in the beginning of the show is forgiveness, but also like reciprocity and just giving. Like it's good to give love. It's good to give, you know what I'm saying, honor and peace and like all those things of like really just venerating spirits, venerating the creator, like all things of creation. Man, Harmonious Balance been doing that from day one since I know she joined the channel.
I always noticed.
And she getting the reciprocity. You feel me? So it's like that's a real thing, man. So I want to say,
we having something to say, bro. It's so many people that got something to say. I talk to people every day to the point where my channels become like an outlet within itself, but on different kind of terms. It's not always esoteric. Sometimes it's social. Sometimes it's economics. You know what I'm saying? But as long as we putting good information out there, healing information, trying to get our people right, man. We ain't. It's 2025. God just showed us there's no reason for us to be out here dumb. There ain't no reason for nobody to be. If you got any kind of skill, if you got any kind of right now, the only reason we lose is because we won't come together. If we can crack,
I'm gonna respectfully disagree, bro. You know I do how I do, but we ain't losing. We just patient. Motherfucking thing. I'm gonna say that.
It's screen, man. Manifest well, manifest abundance. Absolutely right.
I want to hear some of these empresses and goddesses and queens have a soul food kitchen for the brothers, and you're gonna have a packed house. I want y'all to graduate knowing you got a soul food recipe instead of just have an ankh or some twigs and some some twisted tobacco. I want a soul food plate to be to have a competition. When's that gonna happen for all the the initiations be a soul food activation. You know, we got to go back to the roots. And there ain't nothing more roots than some
Who make
real
the best corn?
for real. I promise you, I'm for real though. Like, as a matter of fact, look. I hate to do this, but I want to respectfully put you on blast. We can talk about it, but I'm putting together some meetups and some trips, like to the mountains and all kind of retreats and all that. But you got to be there. I want you to be like the MC. Like, you got to be, cause like for real. Cause I'm telling you, like, the people was already rocking with you on the first one, but now after this one, I'm like, they be like, yo, Unc is yeah. He's that guy. You got to be there, man. We do it.
Yo, you got your audience loves soul food. You got some mac and cheese, collard green, mashed potato loving folks in the audience. I can feel it, man. I can feel it.
yeah. Listen, my spirit mind said my nickname was cornbread. Don't get it twisted. You can't make this ish up. This is live TV. Oh man, y'all. Listen.
Yeah, man. With all the news channels that's putting the propaganda, and they getting paid to say crazy stuff and everything else. We need more outlets. We need more channels. We got Crystals, Magnets, and Pyramids. They doing their thing over there. We got a lot of channels out there. I can't even think about all the different people that I want to shout out right now. But there's a lot of channels that need to come out and have real conversations. That, like I say, the healing and communication and talking to brothers or talking to elders or talking to, you know what I'm saying, talking to the ancestors. So this is most definitely an honor, and I appreciate you guys for real.
Yo, when's the last time a sister came to visit you with some homemade iced tea or lemonade?
I'm blessed. Look, when you were saying that, I already know. If you talking about the competition, I'm sending Raw. Like, big shout out to Mama Raw. They gonna fuck up the kitchen. I ain't worried about nothing. Like, look, if y'all want to do that and do the competition thing, y'all be ready. That's all I got to say.
No, just call us what time to come over. That's all.
Hey, Rob been over here before. Rob been over there. So
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Look. And shout out to Harmonious Balance. She's still in the trial. Like, for real. Like, yeah. We're working on it, man.
I hope that. And tell her send me some pictures when she get a piece. Get her a feminine piece or whatever.
Oh yeah,
whatever.
I'm sure what I got, and it's on her, whichever one she want to choose. But like I said, she good people, man. Like, for real. Like, she one of them ones, man. I'm looking forward to her having her own podcast. I ain't trying to put you on blast, Harmonious Balance, but you already know what it is. Like,
look, I do Matriarch Mondays on Come On My Network. We do Matriarch Monday. We do if you got something to talk about, we can talk any day of the week. But I really want to put on Matriarch Monday. We've been having amazing guests on there. Like, really tap in. You're gonna see somebody that's out there putting in work. I ain't just talking about, you know what I'm saying. And each time we do it, the each one of the guests it keeps getting better and better, more powerful each time. So it's like I love it. We got other young brothers coming on. We got different. We just talking about different things that other people might not be talking about from a different perspective.
What about the secret to corn pudding?
Look, we gotta go. No, look. Look, I ain't got a white towel. I got a white piece of throwing it. I'm gonna go all night, bro. Look, I got security in the room with me tonight. He turned up. He's like, wait a minute, you getting all loud. Let me turn up.
Yo, Orisha Stone just vanished off the screen for a second.
Did that last time too. I don't know what he be doing, man. I don't know what he be doing. But I'm gonna holler at you, man. I'm telling you, man.
Yo, this was the best. Thank you, audience. Thank you, family. Thank you, everybody. This was so much fun. You know, may you have corn pudding as much as you desire. Ashe.
All right, Tribe. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna holler at you, man. We got to do it again, Tribe. I'll see y'all tomorrow on the live, and those in the private community. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We out, family. Peace. Odabo.
Peace.
Ẹni tó gbàgbé ilé sàpò ìyàgbọ́ tẹ́ntẹ́ ní takisá ní tàtàn ò bá padà sílé anítìjàkọ ẹja lọ pé eégún mo ṣe ní gbẹ́rẹ́ ìpàkọ́ forsake not your ancestors and praise your